This next story is called Two Women Who Won the War, the story of Deborah and Barak. How long must we live like this, the people of Israel cried. How long must we be servants of King Jabin? For 20 years, the people of Israel had served King Jabin, king of Canaan. Because the people had not pleased God and obeyed him, God had let them be captured by Jabin. He had let them find out how cruel life would be under a king who would not obey God. Oh, what could be worse than this? The people moaned. Who could be more cruel than King Jabin? Unless it is his wicked General Sisera, what can we do? And then some of them remembered the good days in Israel, the days when the people of Israel were happy. We obeyed God then, they said. That is what we must do now. So the people of Israel began to pray, help us, Lord. They prayed, help us get free from the wicked King Jabin and General Sisera. In those days, Israel had no king. A judge ruled over the people, helping them decide what was right and what was wrong. The judge tried to decide things the way God would want them. At this time, Deborah was judge over Israel. Each day she sat under a palm tree between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. People came to see her there so that she could decide what was right and wrong for them. One day, Deborah asked General Barak to come to see her. God wants you to get 10,000 men and go to Mount Tabor, she said. God will go with you. General Sisera will come out to fight you by the river Kishon. But General Sisera and King Jabin have 900 chariots made of iron, said General Barak. But you have God with you, said Deborah. God says he will help you win. He is greater than 900 iron chariots. If you will go, then I will go, said General Barak. Good, said Deborah. But you must know now that you will not get the most glory from this battle. General Sisera will be defeated by a woman. Barak wondered if that woman would be Deborah. But how could Deborah defeat a general as powerful as Sisera? How could any woman do that? Barak thought about these things, but he said nothing. It did not take General Barak long to gather his 10,000 men together. They were ready to fight, for they wanted more than anything else to defeat their masters. Soon they were camped at Mount Tabor. When General Sisera heard that Barak and his men were camped at Mount Tabor, he knew that he must fight them. If he didn't, they might attack him some night by surprise. Get the chariots ready, he ordered. Call out the men. We must go fight at once. General Sisera's 900 iron chariots and all his fighting men made a terrible sight as they hurried toward General Barak's army. They were sure they could win over these people of Israel. Today, God will help you defeat Sisera, Deborah told Barak. Get up, get going. Barak and his 10,000 men hurried to meet Sisera and his army at the river Kishon. Swords flashed and arrows flew through the air as the two armies began to fight. It was hard for Barak and his men to fight Sisera and their chariots, but God was with Barak and his men, helping them fight. Before long, General Sisera began to see that he could not possibly win. His men were already beginning to run toward home. He knew, too, that he would be killed if he were captured. General Sisera jumped from his chariot and began to run away. He ran and ran until he came to a tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. They were supposed to be friends with Sisera and his people. Here's King Sisera running from his chariot toward the tent. Come in here to hide, Jael called out to King Sisera. The general hurried into the tent and hid under the rug. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Give me some water to drink, please. Jael gave him a drink of milk instead. Then Sisera hid under the rug again. Do you know why she gave him milk? Because milk makes you sleepy. Stand by the door of the tent, Sisera said. If anyone comes, tell him I'm not here. While Jael watched by the door, General Sisera fell fast asleep. And then Jael slipped over to him quietly. She knew what a bad man he was. She would help the people of Israel in their fight. So Jael took a hammer and a tent stake, drove the tent stake through General Sisera's head while he slept. Not long after that, General Barak came by. Come here, Jael said to Barak. I'll show you the man you're looking for. When Barak saw the General Sisera dead from the tent stake, he remembered what Deborah had said. He knew now that this was the woman who would get the honor today by helping to win the war. How strange, thought Barak on the way home. 2 generals and thousands of fighting men went to war today, but the victory went to 2 women, Deborah and Jael.